Well, hello everybody and welcome to the pre-stream, I guess, and I'm kind of jumping in here really quick because I wanted to see if you guys can hear me, first of all, and second of all, if the levels are okay like this. I'm going to be starting the stream in about 23 minutes, but otherwise, like I said, once again, if you can tell me in chat, if you would, if you can hear me okay, and on top of that, whether or not it's clear and concise and, you know, if we're able to move forward. Maybe a bit louder, okay? So let's see what that delay is like. Alright, so there it is, a little bit louder. Hey, Musi, and hi, NS Gaming, A-Dash, Brandleton, Barrett, so many people. So is that a little bit better this time now? I've turned it up a little bit. You guys can tell me if that sounds a lot better or not. Remember, the music's probably playing in the background too, so count that as well. I'm going to turn that off completely. Okay, good. So we're going to keep it at about this level later on. Hi Pig, welcome to the stream as well. It is going to be a little bit, like I said, about 23 minutes from now, maybe 22 minutes, and we'll get started. Please forgive me, it won't be a super long stream, but I do want to catch everybody up on some stuff, kind of, you know, take them around the parks and things like that. So yeah, hope you guys stick around, or at least come back at 8 o'clock when we get started. Yes, this is the real Ducky, owner, one of the managers rather of Imaginears Club. So okay, we will see you guys very soon. Thanks very much for being here. We'll see you in about 22 minutes.
you're all about. Time of your life. You don't wanna miss out on right here and now. There's so many reasons why you don't wanna stop. It's your chance to live it up. Everything you do, come on, let the party last forever and ever. dream you can live. Reach for the sky, so live. Celebrate what you're all about. The time of your life. You don't wanna miss out on right here and now. There's so many reasons why you don't wanna stop. It's your chance to live it up. Everything you do, celebrate. Come on, let the party last.
Okay, now that was odd. For a moment there, I didn't have access to my to OBS. But holy mackerel, we're back! It's been so long. Welcome back, everybody, to the stream. It's been, oh my good lord, I want to say 60-something days since our last stream. Yeah, it's been way too long. I've missed you guys. I've missed the game. Anyway, we're back, and I'm here to do some, answer some questions, obviously, kind of hang out, talk to you guys. What I would like is for you guys to make sure, I'm moving around right now, and I just want to make sure that it's not lagging too much, and if it is, please let me know. Otherwise, yeah, are you guys hearing me too? Let's make sure of that. Yay. I'm so glad to be back. I have so much to tell you. So many things have happened since we've last talked, so it's going to be an interesting stream. Again, I don't want to go too long. I did say that in chat earlier. I'm probably not going to do too long, probably about an hour. And so, by the way, yeah, you can hear me. So how's the video itself? Is it a little laggy at all, or is it not too bad? Anyway, so I don't want to go too long. Like I said, I only want to go about an hour. I definitely have a lot to cover. And then, of course, I want to try to take as many questions as I can. Okay, good. So one of the things you'll notice is how much better this machine is running compared to previous streams. Fortunately, recently, we had one individual. I'm not going to get too much into it, but somebody sent me or got me a computer with an amazing video card in it. That's one of many pieces of good news that are going to be coming out over the next... Basically, I'll be able to talk more about everything in about 2 weeks. But for now, at least know that I have a much better machine in order to do everything on. That's going to help a lot in getting things complete and starting to build. Matter of fact, with everything I've been catching up on this past couple of weeks, but mostly this past week, has been pretty incredible for me, and a lot of great things have happened. My life has been moved forward beyond any of my expectations. That is going to help the server a lot. So one of the benefits of this past week that's going to help the server is I now have an annual pass to the Magic Kingdom. That was one of many benefits. Again, I'm not going to get too much into everything. I don't want to give too much away, actually. It's a valid point. But I will say that I will be able to meet up with folks. I'll be able to go to the parks and build from there, or do live streams from there. I'll be able to meet up with people. We'll be able to do some really great things. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to meet up with like Musi and Darby and any of you guys that are going to be in town. I just saw somebody posted in our Discord today that they have a two-day countdown until they arrive at the Magic Kingdom. So maybe that's one of those people. So anyway, that's on the personal side. Now on to, let's see, where's my notes? I want to keep those handy. Oh, there we go. Let's just, I need to move my Minecraft window. There we go. I'm actually going to be testing out eventually. By the way, is there like a flashing flicker on the screen? Oof, I see it on my end. I don't know if it's you guys see it or not. Let me try to see if I can't fix that. Anyway, so I was going to say that there are a lot of things I want to get to today. Yeah, you see the flicker as well, huh? That's kind of weird, isn't it? Let me see if I can't fix that. Nope, that wasn't it. That's still flickering. Let me see if maybe I can adjust something here. Hey, that's not the right thing to adjust. Yeah, bear with me, folks. I just want to make sure that I get everything done right here. It seems to have gone away, but every time I bring the Minecraft window back up, it flickers again. So, let's see. What is this? We don't need that, so let's get rid of it. Yep, still flickering. So, let me try one more thing. I appreciate you guys' patience with me while I try to get this figured out. It's going to flicker for a moment, because I'm going to keep doing this. Oh, that's just yeah, that's not fun at all. Let's try adjusting that. Thank you guys for your patience while I figure this out. I don't want it to flicker for you guys because there's some stuff I wanted to show you while we're doing the stream. Okay. Yeah, this is really not fun. Wait, did I kind of fix it? It looks like I only have a... Nope, there it is again. Okay, what about now? Hey, I think I got it. Okay, so going back, again, I wanted to show you guys a few things. Let's get the notes back up. And, of course, I want to try to take as many of your questions as possible, too. So keep those questions ready. Let's see what we got going on in the stream right now. This is why you won't stream. All right, well, hopefully the Spider-Verse, yeah, we're not glitching in the Spider-Verse anymore. So one thing I wanted to show you guys that you don't know about, those of you that have been on the server previously know that the Hall of Presidents did exist here before. This is one of the reasons we kind of turned off public access to the server. We found that there were a few things that we needed to redo. Honestly, a lot of the things we're redoing, I'm not going to lie, probably because I built them and I thought I did them right. But as we brought on new people and they were utilizing the tools that we have, they found that we could kind of fine-tune everything. So what we're doing is this is one of the reasons. Again, we don't want it open with this kind of like, you know, looking like this to the guests. So, oh, hi there. So we've taken down pretty much all of the Hall of Presidents, and we're starting over on it. Over here is, of course, where you would get your turkey legs, and then, of course, the entrance would be in here. But as you can see, this is just bare right now, and this is one of a couple things that happened to. So we're gonna kind of jump over here real quick, and the same thing is happening over at the Haunted Mansion. Now, although there wasn't anything technically formally built here, there was a core of a building and then some other things, but all the pathways, everything are being redone. Even the building itself, as you can see, the rear of the building here has been gutted and started over again. So that's just to help you guys understand why we needed a quote-unquote break, and also to kind of get some freedom from you know, having to worry about the, you know, guests getting inside of this here, because I think, for instance, there's holes that go under backstage. And we just didn't want anybody falling in there and kind of goofing around in the wrong places or whatever. So it kind of helped us to give it the cast a little bit of freedom to do that. Secondary to that, obviously, is there were a lot of cast members that felt a little overworked. Let's be honest, and they needed to kind of step back, take a break, worry about real life for a while. And because of that, the benefit has been that a couple of them have improved their personal lives. A couple of them have improved their school grades and so on. And then others have been moving forward with some promotions at work. So it has been, for those of you that have been patient, thank you. It has been very beneficial for us to kind of take this little bit of a hiatus, step back a little bit, focus on our real lives more, get some things going, and now we can kind of jump back in. And some of those people have even told me as recently as today, you know what, I feel like I'm ready now to kind of jump back into it again. So what I think you're going to see is a dramatic increase in builds, not only because I've got the new machine, but also because there are people that are willing to work again, that have focused on their real life, gotten the things done they needed to get done, and I'd love to get back into it too, because of course we want to keep an income going, because we want to be able to eventually pay our developers, pay our managers and so on. And then of course stretch it on beyond that. We do have bills to pay obviously as well. I've got all those covered. Everything's been taken care of on that end. So on my end, I've taken care of, we've paid the server costs, which we have 4 servers in total right now because we have development going on. But here's another benefit. So those of you that are already pass holders now, some of you already know this, and some of you may not have seen it, but this week we allowed our guests, the pass holder guests, to come on and help us out with the economy. Granted, the only access you really had was a giant invisible box over the castle. But those of you that came on, we're able to get a $500 deposit into your account for the new economy system that we've had done. Parker and Zach have both been incredible about the amount of development that they've done, just the two of them alone. God, I wish we had a larger team, but for now, those two are super strong on their own. And Parker's been working very hard on the Magic Band system, being able to do stores. That's where the economy comes in. So the economy is that first step. He has all the other things laid out. There are plenty of little trinkets already built in for, renting a room at a resort, or paying for an item at a store, or whatever. Now, granted, food's always going to be free, because that was always my promise before. I just want food to be free. I don't, it doesn't matter what it is. But for larger ticket items like a resort or something like that, we do have the economy system in it, and it is going to be based again on usage. But here's something that kind of ties into that. One of the comments that I heard today from a guest was, I used to hang out on MC Magic, but then I just kind of ran out of things to do. Well, we don't want that to happen on Imagineers Club. So we have been actually planning, and before even hearing that, it was already my goal to have much more involvement for the guests than we've ever had before. Yes, that's going to include things like sorcerers and, of course, the Pirate's Adventure and so on. But more than that, we want more interactivity. We want our guests involved more and interactive more and making more friends and so on. So, yeah, there'll be a friend system involved. You'll be able to chat with them privately so that you can kind of mute everybody else and just see them. There's going to be a lot more in Imagineers Club than you will ever have imagined even previously to the MC Magic days. So we're doing a lot behind the scenes, a whole lot behind the scenes that you have no idea. Like I said, the benefit of taking that break is that people could focus, giving Parker that freedom to be able to do the economy and so on. It's just so much more beneficial and a lot less stress on everybody. So there's that. Also, new rides. So let's head over to, we're going to do some flying, shall we? We're going to fly over to Fantasyland. Although we have been disassembling some rides, or exteriors at least, for the shows, we have also been building. And please understand, this is very preliminary build right now. It is a very basic build. You're not going to see any of the animatronics or anything like that, but Small World has been worked on incredibly by a team of people. And they can say hi themselves either in the stream chat if they would like. Or, of course, name everybody that you've worked with as well on this project. But let's kind of take a look in here real quick at just look at that. Now, I don't think we're going to leave those lights hanging up there, which, by the way, I need to fix that texture. I have the wrong pack running right now. But I don't think we're going to leave those up there. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I've got to look at the schematics myself. Those lights may exist in real life, and I just don't recall. But those are all to light up the lobby here, as you can see. The red is our pathway for the boats. And so we have the normal pathways here to get into the ride. Same as in real life. And we go around the clock tower. I mean, lots of details here. Again, resource pack changes are going to be are coming. Of course, the restaurant's going to be up there. You'll be able to hang out in there, have food, whatever. Meet up with your friends. So we're going to take a quick tour of the inside, but I'm going to go pretty quick because honestly, Small World, it's great, but I really want you guys to be able to experience this as a ride. So what you're going to get is kind of just a really quick preview. I'm not really going to stop and do any explanations or anything like that. We're just going to kind of zoom through it just to get an idea. Again, no animatronics listed right now, but they are set to be put up. So, you know the pathway if you've been on this ride. Oh, I see somebody standing up there. Nice. They've done an incredible job with this. I mean, previous versions of this on any server that we've run has never had the level of detail and attention that this one has had. I'm super excited to get this running. I'm going to cheat. There's one thing, like you can see there that's running in circles or whatever. Yeah, there's a lot going on animation-wise. And for the animatronics, there'll be a lot going on as well. So we're just kind of zooming through here. Of course, there's things you never notice because when you're on the ride, you just kind of take that ride. But that's backstage where they take your cars and repair them if they need to, or just put them in there at the end of the night. And so we're just kind of zooming through here, and as you can see, yeah, we've still got some to complete, but I'm going to get out of here. Whoa, we're up on the roof. So we are completing rides, and we're doing it at a decent pace. The hiatus has allowed everybody to kind of be able to focus on that without any stress. And it's not to say that guests are stressful. It's to say that their first thought when you're on is you. You know, you are guests because you're our valued, you know, you're the most valued person on the server. And not having to worry too much about that right now until we can open has been beneficial. I know I keep stressing that, but there's been a lot of people who have been incredibly impatient is the best, nicest way I can put that. I really want everybody to be on here. I want you guys to be on here today, tomorrow, whatever. I wish that that could be possible, but I would also rather respect the property and get it completed so that when you come on, you're going to have the fullest experience possible. We are still allowing pass holders to come on for early events before the park opens. So we'll have other things like we'll invite the pass holders to come on to rent rooms in the resorts. We're going to invite them on for all of the upcoming items that are, you know, so economy based. So when the stores come out, you'll be able to grab merchandise before anybody else. You'll get exclusive pins because you've been helping out with that thing. Oh, by the way, yes, pins are going to be a thing. We're going to have pins. We're going to have plushies. We're going to have all kinds of collectibles that adds to what we talked about earlier, which is giving you guys more interactivity and more things to do. Being able to collect pins, for instance, because you've got to go to certain places to get them. So you won't be able to get, let's say, a Tomorrowland-based pin in anywhere else in the park. However, as part of that interactivity and part of the economy, and something that we didn't do before and we always should have done, we're going to allow you guys to not only share your merchandise with each other, but share your money too. So all those times when you've come up to a room at a resort and you had just enough, or just not enough to get the room, but your friend had a little bit of money too, and you guys both wanted to get the room, you will be able to throw money at that person or back and forth to share with each other so that you can get those things together. So again, it gives you interactivity. It gives you more things to do. There's so many things. We are thinking about this in such a granular level for you guys. We want to offer you the most possible. And so I think that's going to be huge when it comes to, well, I mean, yeah, you'll be able to share your inventory. So when it comes to limited inventory space, which Barrett had just mentioned right now, we will have the ability to expand your inventory. I'm not going to discuss that too much now because that's one of the next steps that the developers are going to come to. I don't know that I want to say it. No, I got to hold that one back. But it does have to do with you being able to store things. Let's just say that, and not necessarily have to carry them around. So we'll just say that. All right, so that's economy and interactivity, and I want you guys again to understand we really are thinking about you and our future and your future here too. We're trying to keep you here, obviously, but we're doing so in a way that makes it fun and interesting and beneficial. So many of you that have followed through from the previous server that are here now, you created lifelong friendships there. And we're talking about a whole new generation of people now that are going to come onto Imagineers Club, creating those same sort of friendships that you guys have gained over the years. We want to be able to keep them here so that they have something to do with each other and do it in a safe, troll-free, non-personal information sharing place. Somewhere that's wholesome and genuine and happy, other than all the other gaming places in the world right now, including other Minecraft servers. Nobody's going to be able to do it like we're doing it. So we've done the builds. We're doing those. We've done the completed rides, at least one of them that I'm willing to show at this point because it's gotten so much done. And I've talked about my life. So I think right now I should ask questions in the chat. I'm going to keep flying around so you guys can kind of get an eye, see if there are any changes you hadn't seen before, or those of you that have never been on kind of get an idea of what everything looks like. We do have the teacup models done, I believe. We have the race car models done. We have of course, the people mover for those that don't know, but most people do know about that one. We have preliminary models for the rockets up here. Actually, let's go ahead and see if we can't. This is going to be hard for me to aim without my, there we go. Come on, I can do it. I can do it. There! I got to get out of here, though. It's going to force me into it. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah, I forgot. I don't have the right pack info. Well, at least you can see the ride works. All right, so let's get away from that because it looks really junky without the resource, without the actual 3D model running. So we're going to go back to chat once again, and I want you guys to ask as many questions as you want. I'm going to kind of scroll up in chat, so the game is going to look like I'm paused, like that. And I need to be able to scroll up in here and see what we've got. And somebody asked with Skulker boxes when it comes to inventory, the Shulker boxes, excuse me. Again, I want to kind of hold that one back because I think that's going to be an exciting one for the future, the way that we handle that. So what about safety and security of the guests? The sharing money idea works, but some people can abuse the features. Absolutely. Hope Starter, one of the reasons that we have cast members is to help us or help you, and do the guest services that sort of thing would handle. If we were to say this was in real life, for instance, maybe you left your door open on your resort and another guest walked in and grabbed something off of your dresser. Well, obviously guest services or security would handle that. Or somebody, you dropped a ticket or a fast pass for something, and another guest picked that up. And I'm using a real life analogy here, but if in the game you gave up your fast passes to your friend, but they just ran off and took them and didn't do anything for you, well, then obviously guest services would be able to handle that. So that's our goal, is to have as many people as possible able to help you and answer those questions or resolve those concerns as they happen. That's very much unlike in the past, where I think literally all I did was put an NPC inside of City Hall with a bunch of words and you could drop a note in a box. Now it's going to be, you have immediate access to the cast members, and every cast member is going to be there to help you. And every cast member is being retrained, continuing the tradition of traditions, but also being retrained in how to handle guests in a more customer service oriented way. Like, for instance, let's say you're in a retail store in real life, and you ask where a specific item is on a shelf. Well, some people are just lazy and they're just going to point and they're going to tell you, well, it's over there somewhere. But a real customer service person is going to stop what they're doing, walk you to the place where that item is you asked for, show it to you, and that's it. We're going to try to do that with every one of the guests as well. So somebody's going to say, hey, where is the Tower of Terror? Well, the cast member is going to be trained to actually assist that guest and walk them or warp them or whatever over to that ride to help them with that. And then, of course, give the guests the tools they need. So to explain to the guest, okay, I'll be happy to bring you over there. And then when we get there, this is the code that you're going to use in order to come back, which is /TOT. And that's the kind of like in-depth training that we're going to be doing with our cast members, as well as the amount of guest services we're going to be offering for you guys. So the safety and security, we already do that when it comes to swearing and personal information sharing. We have the chat tools and everything else to help with that. And that's on the back end. So on the front end, you'll also see a lot more interactivity from cast members. You're going to see them greeting you more often. You're going to see them, again, interacting with you and walking you to your place that you need to go, or helping you find that item. Like if you needed a plushie, well, hey, it's over near Splash Mountain at the store near Pecos Bills or something, and they're going to walk you over there. That's the kind of thing we want to be able to do when we open. So we got another, let's see, we've got my friends and that. Okay, so I'm in Discord. Yeah, so Pig with Glasses is saying that regarding what I said earlier about making lifelong friends, and that they've been friends with somebody for over 5 years. That's incredible to me that we were able to provide something like that, and I love doing that. it. I'm happier doing things for people all the time. Like that's been my life's goal. I'm always about helping people and doing things for people and you know, getting them what they need, whatever. I get more joy out of that than anything personal. In other words, yes, I love going to Disney personally, but if I can make somebody else's experience at Disney more magical, or even on the server, that to me is worth way more than my own personal ego or benefit. So Hope Starter's asking also, can we help send over ideas for rides? Also, what about the events on the server like Halloween or something? So, sending ideas over for rides, meaning the existing rides that we already have, or that Disney already has, or do you mean kind of giving us something like clues on how we can improve those rides? If that's the case, absolutely, we're going to have a contact section on our website that'll allow you to do that. Otherwise, I believe it's info@imaginears.club. That you can send an email to if you need to do it right away. And when it comes to events for the server, that's something that Musi has been dealing with, I believe, and I'm not sure if they're still doing it or not. But we're not calling it the event server. I can't remember what he calls it, and he'll tell you in chat here in a minute if he's still following along with the stream. All right, so let's see, Franelton, will the 16 plus rule be applied soon? As a matter of fact, it is, and this is a tough one for me. I'm still kind of tackling the idea, or kind of, I really would rather have our cast members be 18 and up. And let me explain why this is really tough for me, because, gosh, all the kids that we brought on over the years that have helped out and volunteered have been beneficial to us in every way. But at the same time, I don't want to be the cause of somebody not doing their schoolwork, not focusing on their real life, not spending time with their real families. This is a battle for me. You know what I mean? Like you're either I have to cut it at 16 or I cut it at 18. I don't know. There's not been a decision fully made on that. I kind of put my foot down recently and was just a little bit frustrated and said, you know what, I should probably just do it, just bite the bullet and do it. But I haven't fully committed to the decision. I would prefer to keep the cast at 16 plus, because we did have benefits in the past. Like, you know, we hired, when we brought Lego on years ago, he was 12 years old and he's like, I can code. And he had literally just learned, and he became the most amazing developer and has got like an incredible future ahead of him. But he was 12 years old when he approached me and said he could build one. And I said, well, build me, I think I told him to build me a, what's called an alias plugin, which means, for instance, the reason that starting back in that server and coming up to this one's, by the way, completely different, but we were able to do /MK instead of /warpMK. That's what the alias plugin did for us. And when he did that, and from that point on, he was part of cast. People like Alfan, who had started on the server at a very early age, and so on. The benefit of bringing those people on and kind of taking them under our collective wing as a family was, I think, beneficial to their lives and their futures. I don't know that a customer service focused and a guest focused experience is going to allow that. It's such a battle. I mean, it's such a difficult balancing act, you know, because you want to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. You want to give everybody a chance. But you also have to be realistic and know that, you know, with youth also comes a little bit of responsibility. And I can't be everybody's dad. I can't be everybody's big brother all the time. Like, sometimes I got to be the guy that's the manager because I have to get things done. And so I don't know, man. That is such a good question. See, I'm just going on and on about it because it is not only a good question, but it is an internal battle for me. I will let everybody know by the time we reopen what that decision is. But for now, know that it is important to me and that I do want to honor every single person that wants to offer their assistance. So let's just go from there. So let's try from some other questions here. Something Big Mike said, something I think would be really cool in Imagineers is regional chat, so you can see chat. So actually I just talked about that a minute ago, about having chat where you can either have it specifically to just your friends only, or a regional thing, and it is coming. So that way you're not overwhelmed with like a bunch of people on Epcot talking while you're in the Magic Kingdom. That's going to be also beneficial for shows. So if you turn that on, you won't necessarily have to worry about mute, because if somebody's watching, let's say the fireworks at the Magic Kingdom, and Jiminy Cricket is narrating, obviously, because we usually, because of our friends, our guests that come on that may not be able to hear, we obviously put everything in words on the screen so they can enjoy the show too. Well, somebody in Epcot or Animal Kingdom may not want to see that. And so, yes, we will be working on the regional capabilities of chat. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure I get to everybody. Can we send over ideas? There it is. Yep, so I'm scrolled back up again. Good. Just Platinum is asking if there's an update on the Hightail server. I am awaiting word from a few of my friends over at Hypixel on when the beta is going to be available to kind of like build in. They are still very much in development. It could be a year from now that they even release it. I don't know. But we're waiting to find out from them when any sort of a beta or even an alpha is going to be available to developers to get access and be able to start that server. However, the Magic Kingdom comes first. So let's say they opened in 2 months and started. I would have to say I'm sorry, but Hightail takes a back burner to that. We would definitely have to focus on this Magic Kingdom first before we put a single block into Hightail. Believe me, though, Hightail is going to be amazing. And yes, NS Gaming had said it was storybook servers what we were doing instead of event servers. Any cool new technologies with fireworks? Barrett is asking, and yes, we have an all new. I mean, we sort of have to because none of the old plugins are ours. We had to create our own plugin. However, so, all right. So, quick story. The original fireworks plugin was created for us by Mindplex, but it wasn't created for us technically. It was actually created for my friend. I'll just say that. My friend who didn't work for the server. So technically my friend owns that plugin. Although they do own it, I still wasn't really comfortable saying that we should just take that code and put it into ours. So yes, essentially everything has been rewritten when it comes to the fireworks. It's going to be incredible. Wait till you see. So, when you open the server, will you work on events such as parades like Electric Parade, Festival of Fantasy, Shake It, Move It, etc.? So yeah, that's more than parades, by the way, because I would say that the Move It, Shake It is that's more of an event, kind of an attraction event. But yes, there will be parades. I do want Festival of Fantasy first, so I would say that's going to be first on the docket. And then after that, I don't know how soon we get to Electric Parade. Even though it isn't at the Magic Kingdom anymore, I want to still be able to bring that to you guys because there are people that never got to make it to the Walt Disney World Resort to see the Electrical Parade, even though it's at Disneyland now, I believe is where it went. Or at least it should still be showing there. I know they showed it for at least a year after they took it out of Walt Disney World. I still want people to be able to enjoy that. So there'll be many things like that may not exist anymore. Technically, I don't think Move It, Shake It even exists anymore in its original form. And I like that show better than what they have now, so I may bring that one back versus this one because at least that gives you something different to do. All right, so moving on. Zillant is answering Barrett. Let's see. A lot of people are actually being pretty respectful about my 16 plus rule. I appreciate that, guys. That's very, 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 very kind. Let's see. Should the additional requirements be good in time management, work-life balance, and who finished high school? That's Hope Starter asking that, and I want to be able to give people the option to work here, to volunteer here, without imposing my rules on their life. So if they're not managing their time in their personal life or their work or their school, that's their responsibility. But at the same time, Yeah, see, that's a battle for me too, because how do I come down on somebody for doing something that has nothing to do with the server? But if it's affecting their work at the server, then yes, that's when I would step in. Let's see, moving on. Real people on parade floats, Barrett said, and yeah, there will be. I think one of the things that kind of ruined the suspension of disbelief on previous parades, which, by the way, those parades were amazing, because think about the technology that it took to make them, but it was still robotic moving armor stands, and it just didn't feel... It was cool. I think the music made it more interesting, because it was, you were hearing the music of the parade, which made it more exciting and vibrant. But with the armor stands just doing like, I am a robot, I didn't feel as magical and special as it could have. So we will be improving upon that when it comes to our floats and parades and so on. Let's see. And okay, so I guess Virus is working over at Hightail. Cool, good for him. That's awesome. And I'm sure he got that through somebody else we know. And good for him. I love to see that people are expanding in their real lives based on what they've done, either with MC Magic or now with Imagineers Club. I love that. I will never have a problem with anybody benefiting in life for what they've gained from what we offered them. Let's see. Barrett says, I kind of hope the parades aren't too often. So I do have to count in, Barrett, that we have Europeans, we have Asians, we have Australians, we have all kinds of people from all different time zones coming onto the server. And so more than likely you're going to see at least 2 parades in a day if you're on for regular hours. And that's so that everybody gets a chance. That's why there's never, let's say there's never nighttime on the server unless there's a fireworks show. Because I want everybody to feel like they're there in the daytime and they're enjoying it in the daytime and so on. Stupid question. No, Mike, Big Mike, there are no stupid questions, but you're not using essentials for the economy. No, we are not. As a matter of fact, again, this goes to oh my gosh, the benefit of us having this hiatus was we got rid of essentials 100%. I think it's been 2 weeks now. So we no longer have essentials whatsoever. The other benefit of that is that anybody that ever tries to hack us won't be able to, because they don't know our code. So love that. Love that. Love that. I'm so excited about that. Move It, Shake It, Mouse Dance is the new one. Yeah, I know. I was there a couple of days ago, about 3, 4, 5, I don't even know how many days ago it's been now. But I was there for a couple hours when I got my pass, but I had to run home afterwards because it rained. It was going to rain that day, and I didn't want to get stuck on my bike. Let's see. Parades shouldn't be as rare. No, yeah, they were very... The way that we did them before is I think we did them once a week. And part of the reason for that is there's a lot of lag involved with parades if they're handled in a certain way. So we're looking into that. Matter of fact, that's another thing about... And let me just keep playing here a little bit, just to move around a bit. Oh, we do have the Stitches meet and greet, by the way. I think that's in here. Let me just make sure I have my compass. There we go. Yep, so there's the Stitches meet and greet. We're going to be able to allow guests in here for that. Anyway, so the... Well, yeah, I'm actually trying to think of how to say everything. Let me see here real quick. We did them before on a weekly basis because they were hard on the server. Oh, what I was going to say regarding that. So when we were building this park and before we had decided to take our hiatus, we noticed there was a significant lag over in this area at the castle. And we're constantly looking for that because, as you guys recall back in the day on the MC Magic server, pretty much all of Main Street was a horrible mess. You would get like 2 frames a second. We don't know. We knew what it was eventually, but we didn't know initially what it was. And because we're in the early stages of this park, we're able to catch stuff like that early on. And so we've been optimizing so much when it comes to our builds and what we're allowing. Because you got to figure, so part of the reason that we're going to get lag on here is this is a single map. Not like back in the day when we had Magic Kingdom on its own server or whatever. We have the TTC, which is, miles behind us that way. And the TTC has armor stands, has, different entities, and that area stays loaded 24/7 because a spawn in any Minecraft server will stay loaded. And we figured out ways to kind of tweak that, and recently brought up the frames per second a great deal on this. So we're even that, like, everything we think about everything when it comes to the server, and especially that because we want the most clear, concise, easy everything experience that the guests can have without any sort of lag, no matter what speed your computer is. We want people to be able to enjoy it. So let's see what's next here. What about character visits on the server, like Disney characters or something? Obviously, we are going to have them. Here's the difference, though. So back in the day, we would just kind of like throw them in the middle of a crowd, or we would line them up at the outside of a building, or was never done the right way. And I'll give you an example of how we're going to improve on that, which is right over here behind Liberty Square. And you know that, for those of you that know, actually part of this is missing. Why is part of that roof missing? That's really bizarre. Anyway, Tiana does her meet and greet here, as well as Mary Poppins. This is a great spot for both of them, and we've already built in, you know, the availability of queuing. So this is going to be your queue to walk up this way, and then you exit right through the door here, just like you would in real life. So we're going to put all of the characters exactly where they are in the real parks now. No more of this just dropping them off somewhere because it's fun. Now, granted, you know, like Winnie the Pooh or you know, Alice in Wonderland, after they're done with their meet and greets, what they'll usually do is walk to the front of the park to next to the Chamber of Commerce and go backstage and go home. That's probably, we may do that too, which means you'll have a great opportunity to kind of run down Main Street and get a quick selfie or whatever. Which, by the way, that's another thing that's coming, and I'm not going to say too much more, but yeah, big thing on that one. But yeah, you'll be able to. There'll still be the same interactivity level on these guests, or excuse me, these characters that you would have in the real parks, right down to walking up Main Street to go to their normal exit before they go home. Is the server going to be friendly with people connecting from China? If not, would you participate in a whitelist program? It's a valid question. And I also have to consider the EU regulations now too, apparently. So I've got to look into making sure that I am. Here's the thing with China. I don't know if they would have a problem with the server, but do they have a problem with Disney's IP? That might be the clincher right there. So let's say even though China may like the Magic Kingdom or whatever, they may have a problem with, I don't know, the Muppets that has the show over here. You know, the ones, let's see, it's right up there. You know, the Muppet Show that goes on there, or maybe they have a problem with Cowboys over here. I don't know. I'm going to have to look into that. But just as well as I try to be accessible to anybody with either disabilities or different abilities, I want to make sure that everybody in the world has access to this. And yeah, Winnie the Pooh is actually a good example. So the ride, Winnie the Pooh ride over there, how do you block that from China? I just can't. I don't know if that would be even possible. So would we have to block the warps for here? You know what I mean? Like it's such a mind-boggling, how do we do that? I don't know. So moving on. Barrett asks, instead of riding monorail over Flat Ugly World, will there be trees or a road? Well, let's just go over there and see so you know for sure. I'm giving you examples here. So let's say that I'm going, oh my gosh, it's taking me so long to get out there. It's harder to see where I'm going with my flying because I don't have my arrow in front of me. So if I take the monorail out of the Magic Kingdom, and let's say I'm taking, actually we want to be on the other side because this is the one that would go through the Contemporary Resort. Well, I have personally made sure that almost every plant that's anywhere is, well, actually we're missing some out here, aren't we? No, there they are. So like all those down there, and we got more to do here because we have to finish up the railroad there, which that's another thing. Anyway, all of it's here. Like you can see every island with grasses on it, and all of this is going to be populated with foliage. So there's not going to be a single bit of missing foliage anywhere. Let's just say that. As a matter of fact, funny story. Let's go down here to Space Mountain because, as you guys know, the Tron ride is coming. Well, all of my trees that I'd originally put next to here are gone, except, so like over here, they're gone. Now these have to go too. So I already had all the trees that normally would go there. And you can see, look in there, that's the racetrack there. Look at all the trees and foliage and everything that's normally there. I actually placed every tree in there myself based on where they are in real life. So yes, foliage will be there. You're not, when you go to, actually let's go to the, let's say the Express, is it the Express Resort line? No, the Express line to TTC. And right now, a lot of that on the right-hand side is built. So as you see, because obviously we need to do the stuff on the left here too, because the train is usually kind of canopied by the trees. But over here, for instance, if we're going on the train, it's definitely all there. This is all the foliage as you go over the bridge. And then all the foliage and trees and so on will be along the monorail. By the way, the monorail's 100% completed, all the way to Epcot. And that is thanks to Zach, who did an incredible job on that. A while ago, too, for those of you that don't know. So you could technically walk the entire monorail all the way out to Epcot and back. Actually, I think you might get blocked, though. I think we have a thing to keep guests kind of like within the Magic Kingdom. All right, so moving on to, and by the way, sorry about the planes. I'm right near an airport. Yeah, Big Mike Brandt is the owner of Palace. We are not Palace. Hope Starter said, shouldn't the park be updated with the new rides from Disney? You mentioned the Tron ride sooner. And what about the Princess Meetup? So, Princess Meetup is already started. The building is there. I'm going to go down there because we actually tore that up and started over on that too. That was one of those things that we started to build and really wanted to get the details right on. And you can see it right there. So you can see where we tore out, even like part of the roof is gone. And so the front of Princess Meetup, which is right outside of the carousel here, which, by the way, the carousel works now with horses. I don't even think there's a button for that right now, is there? Because we were doing testing on that recently. Let me see if there is one. Maybe you guys can get an idea of what it looks like. I'm not seeing it. Might have to go inside. Nope. Oh, yeah, you're underneath now. You're backstage, everybody. Hey, what? There are buttons here, but those aren't the right ones. Anyway. Okay, so yes, Princess Meetup is here. So you do your Anna and Elsa there, and I believe Snow White, as well as Cinderella, and one other one I can't remember. Yeah. So anyway, so that's that. Space Mountain Queue, sure, we can jump into that real quick. Why not? That's we're getting pretty close to the end here, guys. About 11 minutes. I wanna end at 8:59. Partially because I need to do a phone call, but also because I need to do something else anyway. I have what's called night vision on, so this isn't as dark. So let me see if I can turn that off. I don't think, nope, I can't get to my menu right now. So you're going to see it in full light. But that was so hard to find. That sign right there, you have no idea how long it took me to find that and then Photoshop the right one. Got all the, all the side panels there as well. The stars are going to be in here. That's going to be the star field. And all those windows as we go by on the right. Even have the, the right kind of, well, that's just wrong right there. We need to fix that. But all the metal walls and stuff, they all go through. So yeah, even the levels, if you notice, you're going up and down and left and right. So the queue for the Space Mountain is legit, and does I mean it's so one-to-one, it's kind of ridiculous. And then you walk in. Oh, I heard that. I heard a train coming in or leaving or something. I don't have my 3D resource pack on right now, so you can't see the cars, but Zach did an incredible job of doing the 3D models for those cars. By the way, one of the other things, we had such a battle with this too. If you notice, this is the ground level that I'm on right here. Notice how it's a couple of blocks above the bottom, quite a few blocks above the bottom of Space Mountain. It took us 4 times to rebuild Space Mountain to get it exactly right. And we have it within inches. And yes, I saw that A-dash. I did. I'll have to go in and fix that light later when I can actually see my menu. Not a big deal. So, Hope Starter's asking, do you need a resource pack when the park opens and on Creative? Creative, you don't necessarily need one. However, it would help because you're going to figure that a lot of people are going to use it there. It is required on here. And the reason is that the 3D models, the coloring, the detailing, the food, the plushies, the pins, every single thing that we're offering the guests, excuse me, hiccups, everything that we're offering the guests is you know, well, let me give you an example. Notice you don't see the item frames around these images. If you had the resource pack, you'd see nothing but a bunch of brown, ugly squares around all those images there. If you didn't have the resource pack. The resource pack has been optimized, though. So we're going to be offering up a very small resource pack that has lower detail than this is, because you can see, like, there's really good textures on there. The details on the regular resource pack are a lot lower. And the reason for that is I want everybody, again, to, no matter how fast their computer is, I want everybody to have access. The detail really isn't lost that much, which is funny. Like, I can play in the 64 by 64 one, and this is the 512 one. So there's a lot of high detail in the 512 by 512. I think if I walk up to the brick, you see what I mean? Like, that's like a ridiculous amount of detail right there in that brick. But even in the 64 by 64, which is good for older computers, absolutely fine. So yes, you will need it, but you will not have to worry about it bogging your computer down. All right, let's see. Franelton, 2 plus 4 is 6, unless I missed something there. And yes, Zach is pretty awesome, Barrett. Thank you very much for saying that. Let's see. I think you broke an end rod. Yep. So everybody caught that when I did that. Whoops. Rip. Random question. How do I get rid of a plot? You'll have to ask another cast member. I'm not as familiar with the plot system on our Creative, believe it or not. And we are now 8 minutes before the end of the stream. Oh, Zillant said they can show the merry-go-round, so why don't I go back over there real quick? Let's just head over there. Hopefully they're still there, or they're hearing me in chat right now, or in the stream right now, telling you guys I'm going over there. Seriously, guys, the merry-go-round looks so good. Zach did it. Again, yep, Zach is amazing. I'm in water. There we go. Oh, little Easter egg for those of you watching. If you throw things down that well and make a wish, it might come true. I'm just saying. Alright, let's see if he heard me. Oh, yep, looks like it. Aw, rip. Like I said, I really do have the wrong pack installed. This is the old one where the horses were all goofed up. But if you look very closely, even though I don't have the horse skins going right now, you can see them moving up and down and everything moving around in circles like it's supposed to. So this is actually like the real one. I was very determined to have them be horses, so we're also going to differentiate all the horses too. So they'll all be different horses as much as possible, probably like 3 different horses, so that you guys can enjoy that. And of course the Sword and the Stone is here. But yeah, so there it is, just kind of hanging out without going in circles. And then the ride is over. Hi. Awesome. Demon horse. Oh, Musey, meanie. So one last question from Host Starter. What about inviting family-friendly content creators to the server? We will obviously look. I'd say this. If they want to come on, they can. We would never say no. That's kind of how it happened with Rob Plays, and so many other people. Ant Venom showed up on his own. I never asked him to come. Organically, we've been very lucky because as we have this and created this, it invites people over by itself. We don't even have to reach out to anybody. The fortunate thing is we have friends in the community now because we've been around for so long. So we have friends at Hypixel and Mindplex and Mojang and all these different places in the community. Green tea. But we're not actively seeking it right now. I think our first focus is always you guys first. You know what I mean? Like guests first, and then we'll worry about the secondary things. Barrett said, didn't Notch join twice? Notch joined once. back in the day. Actually, no, technically, I will say he did join twice, and there's a reason for that. Funny story. Notch joined when it was MC Disney, and we were within our first year. And when he joined, we kicked and banned him because we thought it was a fake account. Because back then, even as far back as then, you could fake an account. And then he contacted, and we got him unbanned, and he came back on and he hung out. Pooh Buddy just said it themselves as well, didn't we ban him? Yeah, we certainly did ban Notch on MC Disney back in the day, which is hilarious. Obviously, he was very forgiving, and then for the longest time, excuse me, for the longest time actually it was right behind here. It was right back here in this parking lot, which we didn't even have this parking lot back then, because we didn't, in the very early days, 7.5 years ago, or 6.5 years ago, or whatever it was, we didn't have this much detail, like the cast member backstage. But there was about right here where I'm standing, there was a little monument, because it was the spot where Notch had last logged off. And we just thought it was funny, so we put a monument there. But yeah, that was a great claim to fame back in the day, is to have Notch come onto the server and kind of give his his opinion on it, which was very positive. He was, again, remember, what we were doing was the first time it had ever been done in the game before. Nobody else had created a theme park ever. We were the very first to do a theme park in Minecraft, and are still trendsetters to this day. Yeah, we did Hopestarter. We accidentally found out he was, or we accidentally banned him and then found out he was the real thing. So, let's see what else. We got any other questions here? I want to make sure I get to everybody. Big Mike, I would say what? Okay, it's summer. Actually, Big Mike, I would say it would be way before summer. Yeah, way before summer that we opened the Magic Kingdom to everybody, not just to the pass holders. So, and yes, you can keep me on that, because look, you can see how much is done. I mean, if I just go up here, because we've been going all over here, this is a view you won't get up very often. Let's just do this. Let's just keep going up and up and up. You see, I have the decent farness setting going on right now. But look, I mean, look how much is completed, even backstage. You see that? We've got all the buses over there. We got the ferry over there. All that stuff over there. We just got to finish Tom Sawyer Island. All the core things are done. We're rebuilding a few things and whatever. But yeah, that's yeah. All right, so remember watching really old videos on your channel saying this technology is so advanced, and look at it today. Yeah, Barrett, it was incredible then, and it's even more incredible now. It's a huge honor itself meeting Notch on the server. Imagine it in real life too. I did meet Notch in real life, actually, twice at Minecons. Met Jeb as well. Hung out with Jeb more than once, as a matter of fact. I even hung out with Jeb again at Minecon 2016, the last ever Minecon out at Disneyland. Well, near Disneyland. We got to hang out backstage there. I was in the green room with them on the final day of the show, hanging out with him and I don't remember. Well, obviously Lydia was there. Anyway, the whole Mojang team. It was all backstage. So I've been very lucky, very fortunate. How is the TV plugin coming? I remember you talked about. It's perfectly fine. The thing is we have to create content for those TVs. And to give you an example, we would want to create the pre-show for Star Tours and Soarin', to have the Patrick Warburton opening for that. 2013 or 2014. 2013 was the very first Minecon that MC Magic attended, because we were a panel at that. We were a panelist at Minecon. It was also the year that I formally met Ant Venom in person, and actually we paid a lot of people's way to get into that show. But it was actually technically out of my pocket personally. I bought a bunch of people's tickets for them, so that they could actually go to Minecon in 2013. And so we as a team could sit up on stage together. Yes, it was Orlando Minecon 2013. Anyway, looks like I'm going to have to go, guys. It is 9 o'clock. Thank you so much for being here. You guys are incredible and amazing, and I love you all. And I'm looking forward to another stream very soon, now that I have the hardware to do it. So I hope you guys had a good time, and we will see you again next time.